USS Slater's second convoy to the United Kingdom came to a conclusion on the 5th of December 1944. For the past few days, ship and crew had been battling rough seas, a possible U-boat contact, and all the while escorting an aircraft carrier. Slater and HMS Reaper entered the Irish Sea in the early morning hours, and at 1100, Reaper detached from Slater to proceed independently to Belfast, Ireland. Slater continued on to Greencock, Scotland. A special sea detail was set when a harbor pilot came on board to guide Slater past the anti-submarine nets and more portside to the British tanker El Sierra for refueling. After 2 hours, Slater had taken on 172 tons of fuel, which is about 85% of her total capacity.
This is an oiler that was coming alongside to refuel at Thornhill. They line a ship up on either side of the tanker and one behind it, and we'll all three at the same time. And there's the one behind it. We were alongside on one side. That's what they call fueling at sea. You can see all the lines and hoses that were connected.
Once this was completed, she shifted berths to buoy D3 in River Clyde and moored starboard side to USS Kirkpatrick, DE 318. The 6th and 7th were quiet for the Slater boys. Electrician's mate First Class Harris was added to the sick list. Otherwise, it was business as usual. On the 8th, a group of sailors were found to be absent at morning muster. They had received liberty when Slater came into port and failed to return on time. Now, some did return about 2 hours late. Captain's mast was held at 1200. Signalman First Class Martinson lost 10 liberties for late hammocks, and the motor machinist mate Third Classes Spilacey and Cash also lost liberties for late hammocks. The 3 late sailors got a bit harsher punishment. They lost 20 liberties. Electrician's mate Third Class Gleba and Fireman First Class Crow returned late 4 hours and 20 minutes from their liberty. Slater's return trip to New York City began on the 9th. She got underway with the captain and navigator on the bridge, and the pilot at the con at 0615. The sound gear was lowered at 0805, and Slater's sonarmen began searching for U-boats. As the convoy began forming up and sailing towards the Irish Sea, British torpedo planes made dummy runs on the ships. The convoy commodore of the Clyde section of UC-48A was in the merchant vessel SS Glorietta. Just after noon, the escort carrier HMS Trouncer D-85 joined up and took station. At 1523, the merchant vessel SS Condessa joined the convoy just as they were passing the Mew Island Lighthouse. And that night, Slater's section joined up with the Liverpool section of the convoy, and they all took up station astern. After both sections rendezvoused, the commander of the task group remained in USS Somers DD 381, and the convoy commodores switched to SS Du Quincy. Shortly after forming up, SS City of Cape Town experienced an engine casualty, and her speed was reduced. As the barometer began to drop, the Milford Haven section joined the party. Seaman Second Class Pearl was added to the sick list, and that afternoon, Slater took up station 3,500 yards ahead of Column 7, and began taking spray over her forecastle as the wind increased and the seas churned. The seas hadn't calmed one bit by the 11th. Heavy winds, heavy seas, and heavy sprays was the theme this day. Seaman Second Class Pearl was on the sick list, and more ships joined the convoy. A bottle of chemical smoke was tossed overboard due to a faulty valve, and for about 20 minutes, the number 1 main engine was taken offline for repairs. Slater's return trip to New York City continues next week. Remember to subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, and follow us on Facebook for daily updates from the museum.